Welcome to the From the 108 podcast, starring the drunk uncles of White Sox Twitter. He's a Twitter like whore, an Instagram thirst trap, and your grandma's guilty pleasure, Beef Loaf. A West Coast attitude in a decidedly Midwest body, My Sock Summer. And your host, he's sharing obscure music thoughts to give you time to hit the bathroom, Terezi E.
Thank you, Cornsey. Welcome to the From the 108 podcast. Get ready for some baseball, booze, and bullshit. Remember the drinking rules. If Beef Loaf says allegedly, or that he wrote a blog about that, you drink. If My Sock Summer doesn't know a player or mentions his time on the West Coast, you drink. If I swear or say here's the thing, you drink. And if you tip $1.08, we'll all drink. Also, tip $5, you can choose one of us to shut the fuck up for 5 minutes. And special tonight, if we get all the tips up to $25 total, that's not a $25 tipping thing. That's just a total. We will break down the video of King Nam facing off with another adult in an obstacle course. And the man is about a third of his size. So I'm telling you, it's worth it. Fellas, big question for you. What are you drinking? Beef, what are you drinking, buddy?
Easy peasy, boys. Red wine and kicking it back with some nondescript Diet Cola. This is my Thursday special now. I might mix it up going forward, but I've got a good streak going right now, so I don't know if I want to mess it up. I don't want to. I'm lucky. All right, I want to keep it going.
I feel it. MSS, what are you drinking, buddy?
I am drinking the old standby. Usually I'll bring like 2 or 3 bottles down, try different shit, you know? No, all Buffalo Trace tonight, baby. Nice. So I come right from the T-ball, right to the Buffalo Trace. So it's good times.
I love
Teresa,
it.
what are you drinking?
I got the High West American Prairie Bourbon tonight.
Is that a rye or regular?
We're gonna see. It's a bourbon. It's not a rye.
Okay.
But we're gonna see how it goes, man. I haven't done whiskey on the show in a while. Could go off the rails. Could go real nice. We'll see what happens.
Looking forward to
what
it.
Happens.
Yeah, let's see what happens. I got a nice tall glass too. Thank you.
Yeah, my biggest concern is how much ice I'm going to have, because it's not easy to keep ice just in my general vicinity. So
but it is in a cup. That is.
Yeah,
like
I did one of that too. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
I usually don't use all of it, so
I'm feeling very confident right now. Beef, how you doing, buddy?
You know what? I'm a little disappointed right now. My dog, 108 Morton, who's pretty famous out there on the interwebs, he's quickly falling down my house power ranking for my pets. Okay, he used to be right at the top, and there's 5 pets. He used to be number 1 for a long time. He's slid back now. So I got Pinkie Pie, Rogie, and Cappuccino. So all 3 of the cats have gone ahead of him. He's in 4th place now. He's only ahead of Celestia, who's our guinea pig, whose death Mrs. Beef preys on every single day. He just wishes that this guinea pig would no longer exist. That's a good question, MSS. Why is he sliding down the rankings? 108 Morton's bit me twice in the last 10 days. Okay, I feel like it's rare. I don't think I've been bit by many dogs in my life. Treasy and I had dogs all growing up, and then my wife and I have had 108 Morton for a while. And I can't ever remember 108 Morton biting me before these last 10 days, but he's bit me twice. One time, it's kind of my fault. I'm on the couch with Bonita. We're just watching a movie or whatever, and I happened to lean back on my arm on one of the back pillows, and I was sort of putting my arm on him, right? So he turned and he nipped me kind of on the forearm, right? And he broke the skin open, but not too bad. It's just like, okay, I'm leaning on him a little bit. The second time though, I'm going to be honest, I should have given him a crack, and I never touch my animals like that. I'm not that kind of pet owner, but I'm giving a little bit of pork to him and Rogue, who's our young black cat, and I gave him at the same time, and Morton scarfed his down, and he saw that the cat was still kind of working on his, and Morton darted over there to try to get in there and like steal from the cat. So I put the arm out to block Morton, and he got pushed back, and then he jumped ahead and nipped me. I was like, man, getting food aggressive in this house. There's food everywhere, and he's getting food aggressive on me. So I'm going to be honest. I'm a little down on 108 Morton right now. There's no reason to bite your owner twice in a week.
I like it. I think he should bite you more. And you know what? The other thing is, like, how many teeth does Morton even have? Like 8?
Not a lot. No.
Yeah.
If we had to do the dental records, that we'd be able to identify him quickly that he was the one who bit me to death. Like if it were to happen,
bit you with one tooth. Like you're being a baby about this. Let's just be honest. You're being a bit of a baby.
Cool. It is not cool for the dog to bite, and I'm fine. I wasn't seriously injured. It's just some bullshit, man. I treat that dog well. There's no reason for her to be biting me.
You treat him well enough for him to bite you a few times a week, is what it sounds like.
Does Morton have super tip? Because I want to tip him now.
Yeah, you wish.
Tolerate. Probably 216 if he bit you twice. Good job, Morton. That was good job. Good job.
Guys, I got one little issue. I had mentioned to Senor Socks that I would alert him when the show's going on. I totally forgot, but he did show up.
He made it.
In the chat that he made it on time. And then he also commented, he said, 5 pets sounds pretty cool. I have 5 fucking kids. Congrats, Senor. Congrats on being so fertile.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
That's when you got a Comcast remote hanging between your legs, that shit's going to happen. All right. My Sock Summer, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing great. Just got done with the we do a 5:30 instructional with the little one, and then we do the 6 o'clock game with the big one. And oh god, I tell you, these kids were
T-ball?
ripping the ball. Yeah, T-ball. They were ripping the ball tonight, and I can't really explain it, but like watching kids actually turn, like throw the ball from the pitcher, like from the pitcher's mound to first base, and actually get 4 outs in 1 inning off of like 9 kids was amazing. I was like, good job. This is amazing. So anyway, we had fun. It's not too hot out there. It was a good time. So we're all chilling. And so me and the wife had like laid out plans. We're like, hey, let's not stay too late at the park this week. We got to get these girls home, get them showered, get them in bed, so they can, move on. Tomorrow won't be a total mess, right? Guess what happened? Games are over. Kids are eating their snack. All of a sudden, you hear those familiar tunes in the background, the ding dong, whatever. The fucking goddamn ice cream man comes running up the corner. Everything that we had planned, whoosh, right out the fucking window. Kids are in line for 30 minutes.
This is not about getting home on time. This is not about the kids doing all right. This is about you having to spend money on ice cream.
It sure is. It sure is.
Absolutely not. My wife spent the money. She was fine. So here's what happened. I usually, I told him, I'm going to deflect to her because I'm not the one that's making the decision, because she's the one. Yes, you did, Josh. And I'm going to give you a hint. At 7 o'clock every Thursday, that motherfucker is at Donovan Park, just chilling, waiting for all these games to get over so then he can make $80 million.
Hang on, pull that comment back. I'm going to read it for the listeners. King Nam said, yeah, you sounded just like the ice cream truck. You did totally screwed up. You could have at least put a little effort towards the ice cream song if you're going to bring this in, MSS. So come on, I need a little more out of you, buddy.
I shot my shot. It was bad. I airballed, whatever.
Yeah, it was bad.
No big deal. So anyway, I pushed off because the little one or the older one's like, Dad, can we go get ice cream? I'm like, absolutely not. You just had a juice box and some fucking Cheez-Its. No, you're not having a goddamn treat. It's probably not happening. But then I'd say, go ask your mom. Mom is rolling too deep on the Coronas, hasn't had dinner. Guess what sounds like a good idea? Fucking ice cream. So then they went.
That is dinner, motherfucker. Now, what ice cream truck was it? Was it all the bars or was it the soft serve?
Mr. Happy Face with the soft serve. You haven't had Mr. Happy Face? He's got the vanilla with you can get the special
swirl
stuff there. Yeah.
Can you do the swirl? I love the swirl.
Wait. What's the special stuff?
Yeah, what is special stuff?
Cotton candy flavoring, strawberry, mocha.
For soft serve?
It's like a buck, and you can put it basically he just pushes the button and it comes out like in the swirl. It's pretty nice. He's not that expensive. He's only like $2.50 or $3 a cone. Like that's totally reasonable in the MSS household. Like I'm okay with that. That I don't care about that. I care about the fact that the goddamn dinner or the goddamn bedtime alarm is going off on my phone and my family's not even in the house yet. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So good stuff. I am not okay. SBF. We'll talk about that later, but yeah, I bought some stuff for next week's games. And
MSS, we got this question. It says, "My soft serve summer. What's your go-to ice cream truck treat?" Lay it on us. What are you getting? What do you get?
My easiest go-to all-time fucking soft serve vanilla cone. If we're at DQ, I want the magic topping, the crunchy stuff on the top. I want that goofy stuff.
But this was from the ice cream truck we're talking about. Stay on point here.
Okay, so the ice cream truck, 100%
vanilla, just vanilla,
okay. Fucking soft serve and cone, dude. That's how you tell if it's a good ice cream or not. You know, what's your?
Oh, I see. You're going. Okay.
Well, what's your go-to?
I like vanilla and chocolate swirl. If I'm getting from the ice cream truck, I'm getting a vanilla and chocolate swirl. And I want that thing like to be 14 inches tall. I want it to be tall enough so that I've got risk of it falling over and probably melting all over my hand as I'm trying to eat it.
Like about
that tall, exactly. About a Comcast remote tall.
Good girl.
But I'll eat fast to make sure that it doesn't spill all over me. You know. Yes. Not as girthy. Thinner, just taller and thinner.
Chorizo, before you tell us how you're doing, what's your go-to at the ice cream truck?
If they got it, strawberry. I'm a strawberry guy.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm a fancy boy.
Yeah, this guy will have the strawberry gel that kind of goes with the vanilla.
Yeah, no.
Not down with that.
No?
I ain't trying to get a strawberry shortcake here, man. I want strawberry flavored ice cream.
All right.
That's a good ice cream.
Back in the comments, Chorizo, Magic Shell, top 5 condiment. That's correct.
Yeah.
Dude, dip cones are dope, man. Dip cones, like a dip cone almost replaces the vanilla cone sometimes, but it gets a little messy. It could be a little messy. Depends what I'm wearing.
They got this MSS. They got Malort swirl in there.
Maybe they probably could. They probably should.
I'd be in on that.
Adult ice cream truck.
That's the 108 ice cream truck.
Well, the adult ice cream truck is something else.
Get a little OnlyFans and you get some fucking Malort ice cream. It'll be fucking delicious. Chorizo, how's your bougie ass doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Got a big weekend coming up here. So, as you guys know, Saturday night, my band's doing a show at G-Man. So I hope everyone's coming up. It seems like there's going to be a nice crowd. I'm pretty excited for that.
I'll be
and then Sunday night, we're doing playback with Sox Machine. So we're going to do the Sunday night game, which is a national broadcast. So you absolutely don't want to listen to that version. You want to listen to our version.
Yep.
So that's going to be awesome. And but it's
or something, right?
Fellas, it's a little Thursday though, right? We got to kick it off right.
Oh.
And so the Barren Plains, my band, they're like, well, shit, man, let's release a new song tonight. So we did that just before the show. And so if you click down in below, don't do this till after the show because you can't just leave for 8 minutes to watch this. But there's a brand new song out. It's in the description of this video, so check it out. And we'll be posting it all over the place too. But go check that out tonight once you're nice and drunk or high, and I think you'll really enjoy it.
Good. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to the show, Treasy. It's been a minute since I've been up to the G-Man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, man.
I have to go catch a show, too, you know?
I haven't been there in a while, man. But every time I'm there, I get drunk.
and you guys, so just to be clear, the show's at 9 o'clock. You guys are going on first, right? So don't show up.
We go on 9 o'clock sharp. So
don't be like Matt Ramsey. Yeah, Matt Ramsey. If you're coming, show up.
Show up at 9:30.
You can't be on Mexican time. Get there by 8:30. If you think you're going to get there at 9, try to get there at 8. Okay? Let's try to do that.
Doors are at 8, so get in there at 8. You get in there before because you could just sit in the front of G-Man and drink. It's a great bar.
Have a couple pops.
Fight some Cubs fans that are still lingering around. You know, it'd be a great time for you guys. And then you come in the back at 8 o'clock, and they got plenty of Malort and all kinds of other drinks back there for you. Yeah, I know, Matt Ramsey, you're going to show up at 9:28. We'll still have a couple songs left, I think, at that point.
What a jerk.
I love it. I'm very excited, though. We haven't done a show in a little bit, and it's the first one since it's been actually nice out. And this one's in a different part of town, so it should be pretty cool. But my Sock Summer, I need a favor out of you, buddy.
Yeah, yo.
Need you to pay some bills.
All right. Guys, I don't know if you know, but I told you I was down there today. I was talking with our guys, Eric, down at the Mazda of Orland Park, and that place is beautiful. And I can't say for certain. I can't say that we booked this or it might happen or it might not happen. But there's a pretty damn good chance we're going to have a cookout and do a live podcast down there with the boys, eat some food. Maybe we'll get old Ron Kittle, maybe a little bit of Harold Baines that comes swinging by. We'll see. A lot of Sox fan talk today, Sox talk. It was great. I'm always concerned, like, I don't understand why these guys like us, and then I meet them, and I'm like, oh, I know why this guy likes us. We're all good people. So, folks, May is the perfect month to buy a car. And what's the best place to buy that car? That's right, Mazda of Orland Park, the home of the Zoom Zoom Nation. They got all the kinds: sedans, SUVs, hatchbacks, sports cars, crossovers. So why do you go anywhere else? Yeah, you don't have to. Now, if these gas prices got you freaking the fuck out like it does everyone on Facebook, they even got the electric ones. Introducing the 2022 MX-30 EV crossover. Considering the typical American drives approximately 30 miles per day, the MX-30 was specifically designed to meet their needs. With the EPA estimated range of 100 miles on a full charge, combined with an access to a leading electric vehicle charging network, the MX-30 is always ready for what's next. To check out the MX-30 EV, head over to Mazda of Orland Park at 8910 West 159th Street in beautiful Orland Park. You can check them out online at www.mazdaoforlandpark.com and give them a follow on the Twitters at ZoomZoomNation as they give away free White Sox tickets with parking all the time. Mazda of Orland Park, home of the Zoom Zoom Nation. Zoom Zoom. Now, guys,
nice. That's
before we get too crazy. Okay,
yeah.
They don't have a lot of cars in the lot. They have sold almost all the cars. So when I was talking to Eric today, I was like, hey, what can we do? I was going to suggest we come down and record a podcast. Let's fucking drive some cars. Let's get drunk, drive some cars in the lot, and see what happens.
Well, can we not do that?
No, it's in the lot. It's legal. He said it's fine. Totally said it's fine. So he says, he's like, yeah. He's like, I got no cars. They're still selling cars. This is how good Mazda is. They are selling cars that they won't have in stock for 3 months. People are buying Mazdas and waiting 3 months to get their Zoom Zoom on. So, folks, if you're looking to buy a car, get down there because they're awesome. And you know what? I'll even give you one of those fresh new 108 window decals I haven't even put on the website yet. I will give you a window decal if you buy a Mazda and tell them,
oh, that's worth it.
Yeah,
that's worth it.
It's free.
Yeah, you know what else?
That's a cherry on top right there. That's a cherry on top for you.
Well, additionally, I just had my 1 year anniversary of owning a Mazda, which has been a great year with that Mazda. But you know what they do? They send you a couple coffee mugs and a bag of cookies. Oh. Now, they're not those kind of cookies. Not those kind of cookies, but just regular cookies. But they're pretty damn delicious. I was very impressed by the quality of the cookie you're getting for your 1 year anniversary.
Not famous, right? Like some good cookies.
No, like some big ass cookies, man. Some big cookies. You know, like
big ass cookies.
Big ass cookies. What about the mugs? Are the mugs like Yeti or something? Or are they like just regular old ceramic?
No, like a regular coffee mug, like a ceramic coffee mug. You'll see it. You'll see it if we do a way too early pregame this weekend, which I'm assuming me and Beef are going to do one. There's there's two games this weekend. Might as well. They're away. All right, fellas. There's been some stuff on the internet recently, right? Our guy Steve Stone has been out there. He's been throwing up some tweets, not loving the way that our fans are taking to this. He's basically taking the Ricky Bobby approach to Big Red for his views on the Sox. If you don't believe in the White Sox team, then fuck you, right? So he's been preaching to just believe and kind of like follow the team and get behind him. I'm fine with this. This is, he works for the team, basically. I mean, I get why you would come from that angle. I don't have a big problem with it, but it sounds like you guys are on different sides of this. So I'm gonna let you guys dig into the Steve Stone versus everybody. And
look at that racket.
I'm just gonna try and moderate. So Beef, let's get your opening statement on this.
Yeah, but I mean, before I start, Joe Latham in the comments is right. Enjoy the ride. That's what Stoney tries to tell us. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy the subpar team's ride. I look at it this way. Seeing all these comments, Stoney's condescending. Think about it this way. You eat shit all day taking care of your kids. You eat shit at work, and then you sit down to watch your enjoyment for the night, the White Sox. And they stink, and you want to go on the interwebs and vent a little bit about your displeasure. Steve Stone tells you, nope. You'll be happy about this no matter what you should. Just eat shit again. Message to White Sox fans, you shouldn't complain about this. You should just eat shit when this team sucks balls because it's the best alternative you have to death. Eat at Arby's, okay? This is a Steve Stone message for you. Extremely condescending to all fans. And I like Stoney. I like what he does on the broadcast. And I know this is kind of who he is. Like, this is the kind of person he is. The problem is, and exactly what you said, Treasy, you don't have a problem with it because it's coming from a team. That is why I have a problem with it, right? The team shouldn't be advising me how to fan. I'll fucking fan however I want. And you, the talking mouthpiece for the team, you shut your mouth about my fanning. And the fact that it's like either there's no thought about these fans whatsoever. It's like we're chattel. We don't matter. Just kiss my ass and you'll enjoy this product or not. Get out of here. And it's like there's no compassion towards fans like recognizing something and say, okay, well, they're worried about this or that. None of that. We're all idiots. He's the smart guy. He knows better than us. And that's what a lot of the commentary comes off like. And I don't blame people for getting upset at this kind of commentary, bouncing at them like they're putting stuff on the internet. And what I didn't realize before I knew we were going to talk about this, I started looking at Steve Stone's tweet. Steve Stone is a huge reply guy. Steve Stone is replying to absolutely everyone, which drives the point home even further for me. Like, it'd be different if he just put a thing out there and left it and never, said anything back. Then you're like, okay, well, his head's kind of in the clouds. He doesn't know. No, he's trying to pile drive it into you fans. He's pushing on you, pushing in your chest like this. And Treasy, if you remember, the last guy who pushed in my chest like this, I almost threw him over a banister down some stairs. So
I do remember
please, no pushing in my chest.
Poor Morty. Look, I get what you're saying, and I guess it's just how you choose to take the messages from Steve Stone. I don't take them as a guy saying, being condescending. He's just saying, hey, some of you are positive, and things in your life are probably good. And some of you guys are negative, and things are probably not that good. So I don't necessarily see Steve Stone. And our guy, Brian, who's in the comments right now, he's the reason, this is the whole reason we're talking about this. Because he alerted to me, or he didn't alert to me, he alerted this situation to me through a tweet. Because he was just pissed off and fed up with Steve Stone's tweets and said, fuck this guy, And so I was like, man, Steve Stone must have said something really bad, to make Brian act this way. And I go and read the tweet and I'm like, it was one of the ones that I posted. It wasn't anything specific. It was just like, hey, the sun shines in your world. And then there's other people. It might not, And it's like, who's taking this seriously? This is my
everyone. He's a talking mouthpiece for the team, of course.
Well,
everyone reading that is like, oh, I'm the dumbass. Steve knows better than me, is what he's telling me. He's saying you're an idiot fan.
Not.
And he's saying that, well, this is it. You know what he's like? He's like Judge Reinhold's character from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Brad Hamilton. The customer is always an asshole. That's what the tweets are like to me. And I'm like, and like I said, if it was just a tweet laid out there, nothing, but the amount of replies is just to me is like, oh, you really want everyone to believe this. It's like, believe this or not, idiots. That's what it seems like to me.
So Steve wants people to become more positive. People become even more negative towards him and get so mad at him just because they're saying something. I love that we have an announcer like Steve Stone who will mix it up with fans. You're talking about the replies. You're talking about the tweets. I love that he uses Twitter. I like that he's not vanilla. He's full on tutti frutti ice cream in a vanilla world, my friend. And when he is gone, people are going to be like, oh, I just wish that people really cared a lot more about the team. Or I wish people didn't just follow the company line and blah, 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 and actually said something. He could go in and not say anything and let things go badly and just let people yell and cuss and do all that stuff. But he's not like that.
What do you think?
I feel like this is people getting mad at Hawk Harrelson for being a homer. Steve Stone is very much become the Hawk Harrelson role in this broadcast booth. And
it's
you
different.
Cannot yell at Hawk Harrelson. He can't yell at him.
It's different. MSS.
Wait, hold on.
I'm sorry, Tracy.
I'm moderating this, so shut the fuck up. You said two things that kind of contradict each other there. You said that he's not towing the company line, but then you also said that he's being like the Hawk Harrelson style homer. So I want to get straight what you mean there, because it seems like he is towing the company line if he's being a homer and just saying like the team's going to be great, don't worry about it.
I'm saying he's like a Hawk Harrelson type figure where he just says shit and it's not necessarily like has to do. It's convoluted. I understand, but here's what I'll say: Steve Stone is very critical of this team. He went on 670 score right after the playoffs last year and said, "Listen, this team isn't built to win. This is not a defensive-minded team. The catcher can't do, if the pitcher can't throw the pitches he wants to throw because he's afraid that the catcher's not going to catch the pitch. So he went and was critical in that one. That's one thing that I could definitely remember. I can't remember everything, but he is very critical of the team. Like it. He also shut the fuck up. He also said, I just said that my daughter's standing right here because she's waiting for me to say goodnight to her. Yeah, I mean, come on. We're 8:30, buddy. Hold on one sec.
I mean, just, nothing wrong. I think Stoney is generally objective about the team. I totally disagree. I disavow the Hawk Harrelson thing. That's total bullshit. Hawk Harrelson was on our side. Hawk Harrelson, you might not have liked him for a variety of reasons, but he was on our side. He was like living, breathing, loved it, and he got disappointed when things went wrong in the booth. He would get mad for a whole inning and not talk, okay? He would acted like we acted. If he had been on Twitter, he would have been right there with us. It would not have condescended the fan base like this. And that's what Stoney does. It is. How is it not? If everyone else thinks it's condescending, how is it not, Emma? You're the only one willing to eat shit here, it sounds like.
I'm not willing to eat shit. I also don't take Steve Stone's opinion like it's life or death. It's a freaking.
It's not a life or death thing. You're going too far with it. Like if this, that's not what it is. Opinions out there matter, and people talking about opinions matter. And when the mouthpiece from the team is hammering you on the head for the team that you go pay money for, of course that means something.
Where's he hammering you on the head?
It's not life or death or anything. He's basically telling everyone whenever they have a comment about the team, oh, all you negative people out there. Oh, I know there's some of you positive. He even separates the group. He's like, oh, the people who have opinions about the team that are not positive, you're out. You're out. The heck with you. Only the positive people. I mean, don't you read? Okay. Can you read or not? Can you read the tweets or not, MSS?
Put the tweet up, dude. Put the tweet up.
Those are two of the tweets.
These are just two of the tweets.
Those are just two of the tweets. Yes, correct.
Oh.
It's also not all the blocked people.
What'd you bring, Love? Where's my tweet? Tell me where he says this.
So while Beef's looking that up.
He says, I have it. I have it right here. This is a message to all those people who have a positive nature. I'll bet you enjoy most aspects of your life. I'll bet you don't complain much. I'll bet you don't whine about the little things. The sun inhabits your world most of the time. Yeah, guess who he's talking to? Anyone who would talk about things that aren't going right on the White Sox. I mean, how are you missing this? Are you really missing? I thought you had a real point about this.
There is a real point.
You just don't understand what's going on, apparently.
You're reading into something. And
right over your head.
You're putting it into your freaking zone. You're making it what you want it to be.
My zone? That's not my zone. Everyone's reading it this way except for you. It's what it seems like. Is there even one person in the comments defending your side of this argument right here?
I don't care.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You don't understand. That's the problem.
No, I do understand. I
don't get it.
Seriously.
It's okay if you don't value his opinion or you're like willing to, you know what, if you get stomped on, you don't care. You just move out of the way, no problem. That's fine. Take that. But anyone who wants to take Stoney,
that was quite a sideswipe there, Beef.
That's what I'm saying. That's what it's acting like. He doesn't mind getting pounded on. I'll come on Twitter and pound on you. I bet you'll come back at me, right?
My Sox Summer, I apologize, but this is going down. You've been muted for 5 minutes.
He's got some But that's what I'm saying. Like I thought the argument was going to be something else. Not that, I just shouldn't care about Stoney's tweets. I mean, that's not an argument, in my opinion. Either you think that there's some validity here or there's not. And I'm guessing I'm feeling like there isn't at this point.
Well, I think part of what My Sox Summer is saying is that, like, if you don't really care what Steve Stone says, right? Yeah. Like, if you're just kind of like, who gives a fuck what this guy says? And you read that tweet, you're just kind of like, this isn't that big of a deal. This is just like someone spouting off that they have a great life and you don't, and fuck you.
Right, your life stinks, right?
Right, and it's like at the end of the day,
MSS is right. Fuck loaf.
Like how much?
Right about that.
How much should I care about that? Right? Like I'm not out there. I'm not going to go get in a Twitter war with Steve Stone because he's just going to block me. Most people are going to agree with what I'm saying, anyways. There's just no value to it for me. That's kind of where I'm coming from, and I think that's a similar situation to what My Sox Summer was trying to express. Albeit, I don't think he nailed the argument in a way that was, enough to convince you, but it was enough to convince you to fucking sideswipe the shit out of him and say that he wanted to eat shit from Stoney.
Well, that's the other perspective. The other perspective is, I don't see much of the There is a little bit of out there in Twitter of like, yeah, shut up, anyone who's critical of the team, you just follow this team, or they'll be like, oh, go root for some other team, and it's like, fuck that noise. Also, like, I'm allowed to be critical of my team if I want to be, and if you want to be, puppy dogs and lollipops in your ass, I'm fine with that too. Go do that as fans. But the talking mouthpiece trying to direct, you fans can't have critical opinions, that's some bullshit. And I like Stoney. Don't get me wrong. I got nothing against Stoney personally. I like his work on TV. I'm a fan of it. And I've been a fan of it since I was a little kid. And I wasn't a Cubs fan, but Teresa, we'd watch Cubs games because it was on during the day.
That's what I wanted to talk about. That's what I wanted to talk about really quickly. We've got 3 minutes before MSS could talk again. So I wanted to touch on something with Stoney. This is what's weird about it for me with Steve Stone, is that he's literally been fired for doing what we're doing on Twitter, right? Like, we're saying this guy can't hit, right? Send this guy down. He can't hit. Why did we sign this guy? He can't play the position we got him for, right? This guy's injured. You should have just cut. You should have bought out Kimbrel. Like, we're talking about all these different things. Yeah. And this is what Stoney was doing with guys like Moises Alou and others who got really pissed off at him. And is this a, like, I don't know, like a worn down Stoney where he's like, I'm not going to go down that path again. I'm just going to I'm going to be the opposite of that now. But
I don't think quite that.
It's weird to me that
a good point.
He can't appreciate like how we're expressing ourselves and how we feel about this team, because it's not like people are out there making extremely invalid points, right? Like, there's plenty of this guy's lazy, right? Or like, this guy does this wrong. And it's just kind of like, well, you don't know what's going on in the clubhouse. You don't know what's happening behind the scenes. But there's a lot of very objective things that you could point to, like Yasmani Grandal just not hitting, right? Or, or TLR's decision making. Like, these are things that are pretty known commodities where you're like, this is a decision where you shouldn't put in a left-handed pitcher against their two best right-handed pitchers after you left your right-handed pitcher in against the left-handed batter.
Right.
Like, these things are pretty clear cut. And so, like, the fact that someone would go out there and say, this is wrong, or this guy's playing bad. It's weird that he's now on the opposite end of that. It doesn't fit with my brain.
So I like this point. I don't think it's quite that, because I agree with MSS. He is objective, and like, if you read between the lines, sometimes even during the broadcast, he'll say something where you're like, he's definitely calling this player out, but he's doing it in a really nice way, so you can't really tell. But I think there is a comfiness of like, this might be like my last broadcasting job. I'm in my 70s, like, life's good. I'm just gonna I don't care, I don't want to fight that much. But then he does get in the replies with everybody, and like, it's like policing it. Like that's where it's different. Like I said, I would have been on MSS's side if I didn't look at his tweets and replies, and he's replying to fucking everything. And I was like, wow, he's in this, man. It's incredible.
Man, MSS, you're almost here. Let's count it down.
Down to 20 seconds left.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right.
You bring him back?
Welcome back, buddy.
Still have the counter there, you dumb fuck.
Have you had time to think?
It's a little bit.
I appreciate you being like pretty respectable to me, Teresi, and trying to carry on my torch. No, I wasn't clear.
You know why, MSS? I don't want you to eat shit, all right?
No, that's fine.
Eat shit. I don't want you to eat shit.
Your brother is a wordsmith. He knew exactly what he was saying. He's a cockhead. It's no big deal. Anyway, the deal, I just totally disagree with Brian, like, where he just said here, he's going his way to tell people who aren't happy with the team that they don't matter and nothing to say is valid. What he is saying, and what I'm reading it, and the way that I'm looking into it, and it could be totally wrong, is like, it's a waste of time to think that, because it's not going to necessarily get there. Vent your frustration and have your frustration like based somewhat in reality and somewhat in fact. Like, I would be behind that, and I would say, feel free. I don't give a shit how you fan how you want, but like, what I'm tired of is like, when we're 15 games into the season and people are like, this team sucks, we're fucking going nowhere, its season is over. And I think that's like, Twitter is like a thing of extremes. It's not always evenly measured. So like, people are either really high on something or really fucking low on it. So I'm just kind of he's floating that line, and I think he's he's old. You got to give him that. He's saying he is.
What does that mean?
Down to people.
I don't understand what that means.
Old people talk down to people all the time. They don't even know that they're talking down to me.
I don't think I've
all
heard
right.
people talk
Well,
about me.
all right, fellas. Look. Here's what happened.
Good night, everyone.
Here's what happened. We got a tip. I got to shut both of you guys up.
You got to shut this off.
Now,
okay.
Now,
mute for 10 minutes.
Justin did it. He said only 2.5 minutes for each of you, and then it's just going to be me for those 2.5 minutes, which is fine. I'm fine going on.
A little monologue.
Okay. I'm gonna sing a little song or something. We'll figure it out. But we're gonna get the countdown going, and you guys are muted. All right. So before we get into the next topic, I do want to talk to you guys about the 108ing takeover in Minnesota that's going to be coming up in July. So it's July 16th, and it's going to be it's like an 8-minute walk from the park. If you go to our website, FromThe108.com, and it's going to be like the second story there, just click on that. All the info is there. You could buy tickets. Tickets are $30, but that includes 3 free drinks. So you get in there, you get admission. We've got the place to ourselves, basically. It's an event space. We're going to have 150 White Sox fans rocking out before the game. It's going to start at like 10:30 in the morning. They're opening early for this. It's going to go to 1. And the place is a food hall, so there's going to be a bunch of different restaurants and stuff you could choose from. So it's going to be a hell of a time. So make sure to go over to FromThe108.com or SoxMachine.com. Both of us are in on this together. It's going to be an awesome time. I'm very excited for this. This is going to be just probably one of the best road trips we ever had. And it's going to be a very important series. Only 90 tickets left. So, Josh, there's 150 to start. We're down to 90 tickets left. So make sure you get those as soon as you can. Those are definitely going to sell out. We've done events like this before. We were up in Milwaukee. There was like upwards of 400 or 500 people at that tailgate. You've been to the Reggie's things. We pack it in for those things. So it's going to be similar. There's people from Minnesota that are Sox fans that are going to be up there. So we want to make sure you get in there. So that said, get over there to either one of our sites, go purchase those tickets. I want to get into the next topic, which is something that happened the other night. And so it's the Tim Anderson versus Ozzie Guillen little thing here. And so if you missed it, because it's deleted now, Ozzie was talking about how they're kind of basically babying younger players, and that TA7 should have played both games because both games of the doubleheader, because he's young, should be able to do that. And Timmy responded, Ozzie needs to shut the fuck up sometimes. He talks too much. And you know what? I was thinking about this, and all I could think is, if Ozzie were a player or a manager and someone was critical about him in the same way, this would be his exact response. Maybe it would be in Spanish, but it would be the exact same response. There's no way it wouldn't be. And now I get to get my fellas back in here, and we'd start talking about this a little bit more. Let me bang
on the door. Let me in, Treasy. Let my ass in there. You're absolutely right. Can I butt in right here?
Get in there.
Treasy, he actually did do this. He did this already, okay? Back in 2007, the White Sox were playing a series at Wrigley Field against the Cubs. Mike North Morning Show, they're on the air, and Mike North is talking to AJ Przinsky, asking him, why aren't you starting this game? Why is Toby Hall starting this game? This makes no sense. You should be out there. Why are they giving you rest? And who calls into the radio station to curse out Mike North, and they got to bleep him? And Mike North even tells him, you better calm down with the language, because we're not allowed to do that. The FCC is going to fine us. Ozzie Guillen. He couldn't wait. He called right in. So when I saw that, I thought to myself, I'm like, you did this. You did this, Ozzie. You did this exact thing. And so it was hilarious to me for all this thing to come full circle.
And so one thing I thought about this, which to me was the interesting part, I wondered how much Timmy actually took issue with him talking about him personally in the situation, or so much that this is more of Ozzie thinking I should be the manager of this team. So moments before this comment, he was also talking about McEwing sending Harrison with 2 outs against Benintendi's arm. And he was saying that he shouldn't have done it. And what did he say? He didn't say just because of the reason. He said, when I was a third base coach, I would not have done this. When he talked about the Timmy thing, Ozzie was a shortstop in the big leagues. He didn't say, when I was a shortstop at that age, I would have wanted to play both games. No. He said, the manager is babying him. He should have made him play both games. Timmy's young. Each time, it was him going, I'm better than the coaching staff. And I think that might grate on the players a little bit. Even if you think that they don't really like La Russa much, that is still their manager. This is still their team. And it's being run by these coaches that they see put into work every day. It could be grating on them that this guy is continually talking shit about the coaching staff, mainly because he wants to be one of the coaches.
That was the reason why I couldn't watch that post-game show when Ricky Renteria was the manager, because every single episode Ozzie was vying for the job. You could tell Ozzie was like trying to say how much better he'd be than Ricky Renteria in the dugout, and it was like obnoxious at the time. I was like, I'm not watching this. There's no way I can watch this, you know? I don't know if that's it, Treasy, or how much it is just like, you know, a little frustration being built up by Tim and hearing some more bullshit, like things that are just like, if you're a player, you're like, this shit doesn't matter. Like, fuck this. I don't care about this. Why are you even talking about this? You know, I think it's kind of a little bit more of that perspective and less of a direct, like, he's either, like, the way it sounded too, it was a little bit like, oh, you're babying this guy. And I came across to me, I thought to myself, I said, is Ozzie sort of entering his Ditka phase where he's just becoming this caricature and doesn't understand the modern game? Players rest in the modern game. If you looked at the Royals lineup across in that second game, they had half a lineup in there too. I mean, this is like a normal thing. Like the reason why it's a hyper focus for us Sox fans is because our team is way underperforming what they should be doing. And so we're like grasping on every game like, oh shit, man, we need to win this game. But that seemed like normal-ish behavior. So it was like kind of surprising that became like some big point for Ozzie, you know?
There's plenty of shit to make fun of TLR with.
I don't think that's the case. And if it is, because I distinctly remember him saying that the only person that wasn't playing from the Royal starters was Salvo. Was Salvador Perez. That was the only one that wasn't playing the second game. He said that every Royal was back out there for the second game.
I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look. But when I looked at it, I didn't think it was a good lineup.
Well
maybe they just don't have a good lineup.
They might not. But I swear that he said the only person that wasn't playing again was the catcher because he suffered.
He got hurt.
Injury.
Yeah, he got hurt.
The catcher played. The other catcher played both games.
The other catcher caught both.
Oh,
exactly.
I don't know. So anyway, that's all I remember. No, I both these guys in my world are like totally fucking right. I feel like Tim Anderson has every right to tell an announcer to shut the fuck up, especially one that claims to have a ton of respect for Tony La Russa. And Tony La Russa is making that decision with Tim Anderson. And they've gone together, they've made a powwow, and they've decided who's doing what here. Right. Obviously, Tony thinks that he should take the day off, or Tim thought he should take the game off, and go and vice versa. Now,
and they agreed in some capacity, right?
So now, do I think that Ozzie's right that Tim should play that second game? I think he should. The reason I think he should is because you have a struggling team right now. You're going for dubs. You're trying to get back on the same page, and why not start in that second game? To his credit, Tim Anderson, his last two games, has totally kicked motherfucking ass. So he has lit a fire under his ass to get things moving in the right direction. So it could have made a game earlier. Maybe it wouldn't have happened. I don't know. Maybe the comment sparked them. I'm not sure. But I also love freaking Ozzie going out there and just speaking his mind. Even if he's wrong, I don't particularly care much for the fucking rhetoric that gets pushed down our throats through the Guillen tweet account, like when the Suns are saying stuff. They can't tell me how hard it was for their dad to grow up somewhere when they've lived in a lap of luxury, and then are saying you just need to be tough. These guys aren't tough anymore. Take it easy. I don't want to get out. It reminds me of Wally telling me how he's from the hood and he needs to stick together and he's from Naperville. You're just you went to Naperville North, sir. You were kind of fine. Don't worry about it.
I got to cut you off for a second, my Sox Summer, because we just had two
Yeah.
Two nice tips here, and one was from Yumper, and the other's from Zvo. Yumper, they're the ones giving away the TA7 bobblehead. Did you pick a winner yet, My Sock Summer?
No, that's the thing. What did you send it to me?
We'll do that in a minute. But Zvo, we're thinking about you, buddy. We know your wife's having some health problems, and we're really thinking about your family right now. But also, I hope you watch this later, because with this tip, we've eclipsed where we wanted to get to show the video and break it down of our guy King Nam running an obstacle course. So we're going to break from the White Sox talk for just a moment, and we're going to get into this, because there's some film to break down here, guys. This is an athletic feat, and I got to say, just bear with me. There's no sound on this.
Can we watch it all the way through first?
We will go through it like 10, 15 times.
Okay.
I took the sound out of this because, much like CNC Music Factory, I am not paying Martha Wash any royalties. So we had to cut this It's Raining Men out of here. But here we go. We're going to get into this. We're going to watch this. Comment as we go, because, there's people listening to this on a podcast. So we got to give a little bit of play-by-play here. Beef, you want to give the play-by-play?
I'm happy to. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's get into it.
That's what we need, him to talk more. Yep.
Here comes Nam.
All right, so here's King Nam. He's in an obstacle course with another teacher. There is an obstacle he's got to climb underneath. He's like bear crawling through it.
I thought the last one was going to get stuck to him.
Then he's got to do a high step, and then he's got to go through some tires. I thought he was going to fall over there. Then he's got one of these little body like cycles that go on the ground, like the little thing, and it's a little scooter. And man, this is like, it looks terrible. I can't believe he's never been on one of these before. Apparently, then he's got to go hula hoop,
which is almost a belt.
And it's a half-ass attempt. I mean, he doesn't even get one spin.
This is where it's important.
The balance beam, he just pushed the other guy out of the way. Shoved him out of the way.
He saw that coming. He knew if he got an inch ahead of that guy, he was going to... I
don't understand the jungle gym they just climbed through, but I'm surprised he made it through. Now, this is where he has a big advantage. You see, they're shooting baskets to end the thing. The teacher who's going against them looks like he's never seen a basketball before, and so that's why it's an easy victory for Nam.
He also couldn't even find the basketball.
He couldn't find it, and then when he picked it up, it looked like he picked up a Rubik's Cube, Teresi. It looked like he'd never seen it. He didn't know where this thing went. Like, he didn't know the object of it, of the end of the thing, which is why I was pretty confident Nam was going to win when they got to that point in time.
Like, when he shoots that basket and he makes it, like, the look on his face was like, I'm going into cardiac arrest. And, like, he threw his body back.
You can see someone getting the paddles ready in the background, MSS. I don't know if you look closely, you can see it.
Let's run it again.
Okay,
so here's where I thought he was going to get stuck. I thought that was going to be on him the rest of the
But it was light, so it was in the bear crawl. I thought he could just stand up.
Great footwork, though. Incredible footwork. We got to give it to Nam on the footwork.
Yeah,
the hot dog eating paid off on the footwork.
It did, and there's no question.
Yeah, that tons of
the scooter's an embarrassment. Like,
see,
that's an embarrassing move. He fell off of it.
I want to hear from him if that scooter was like one of those shopping carts at the store where like one of the wheels ain't working and you're just kind of spinning. But man, the forearm shiver is so good there.
He just uses physicality in that spot right there on the balance beam.
I don't think that's a teacher. That's a kid, right? That's got to be.
That's a teacher.
No, that's a teacher.
It looks like a kid.
That teacher looks like a kid next to Nam. He looks like a kid next to Nam.
I'm going to be honest. There's no way that teacher ever mouths off to Nam in the parent-teacher.
Oh, no.
It's not even a chance. No. Not one chance.
No. Nam probably coached him in Little League, too, and probably beat him with a wiffle ball bat. They could, like, give him a here's what's up. And I think, here we go again.
One more run through it.
You know what? You can tell that the teacher can't find the ball because it's clearly marked in the box in front of the bat.
I think we're not paying enough attention. Teacher's run is pretty horrible. Hold on. We're going to start this over because I want you guys.
Because you're right. Because being that bad of an athlete as a teacher seems weird. I feel like most teachers.
Now, I hate to make fun of this guy because I've never met him. But that he did first good. But the double jump over these little hurdles.
Yeah. He was a mile ahead, too.
Almost bit it in the tires.
He was going to go on his belly, and then he decided to go on his butt.
This is where he messed up. He messed up letting Nam get even an inch ahead of him because Nam's going to box him out, man. He's going to use his
like
body.
Charles Oakley there boxing him out.
So now watch. Nam gets him right here, but then the guy tries to fly. He tries to fly for a second here. There you go.
I saw that. Yeah. Put the arms out.
But then he's totally boxed out here. He's trying to get in there, but there's a huge Nam in there. He's got no chance.
Yeah, there was no.
And then he's still getting boxed out. This poor guy's like, I don't even get a basketball. And it's over. It's over before it began.
MSS, you know what? I noticed at the very end there, I hadn't noticed it a few times, someone grabbed the rebound for Nam and gave it back to him. You're right. If he had to go get his own rebound, cardiac arrest. He would have been like Hank Gathers laying under the basket there, and we would have had to revive him.
You know what I noticed the last go round? When Nam stepped on that balance beam, the balance beam touched the floor. It was no longer balancing. He was just on the floor, walking across the balance beam.
It was a line on the court.
That's a good move. That was a good move. That's classic. That's good stuff. And you know what? This video highlights not just how bad in shape or bad out of shape Nam is. It now highlights how much Nam is willing to do for people. Just in general. Right. He knew it would be funny if they got the big guy out there hula hooping and running against the teacher. He's like, I'm in for this. And that's why he's a good person.
Senior Sox know that was not the NFL Combine right there. Surprisingly, it was not.
Oh man, that's a great comment. I agree with you, My Sock Summer. You know, that was for his kids like Gymboree or something.
End of year or something.
Yeah, like something, and like he's Nam will do anything for his kids, or his kid, I should say. I don't know if he has
or more.
But he's actually the one that wanted that video up. He was messaging us, hey, I think there's video of this. You guys got to see it. Yeah. Now, did he want me to break it down in such depth?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Probably.
But at the end of the day, we love Nam. And
why were they playing It's Raining Men?
It's a lot of fun
during that, too.
Have you seen the guys that were doing that? Why we just broke it down. It was Raining Men.
All right.
Tim Maher wants to know, what was Nam's Wonderlic score? The highest score you can get is 50, I believe. That's what he got. He's damn near genius.
This could have been the XFL
Combine.
Senior Sox
gathers.
Senior Sox says, I hope this breaks the hot dogs are bad for you stereotype. I agree. I think it's all built on hot dogs, that performance right there.
Holy Christ.
Oh, and thanks for the correction, Brian Harrison. Hank Gathers died at half court, not under the basket. Okay, I got mixed up there. I was like 9 years old when that happened, but I do remember it. I just didn't remember what part of the court. So my apologies.
I was shooting lefties all turn.
Bo Kimball's his buddy. Yeah. I remember that tournament, man.
Oh man, that's brutal. God
damn. So fellas, I mean, I think we got in on the Ozzie stuff. I think at the end of the day, Ozzie Guillen is going to say stuff like that, and Tim Anderson is going to respond the way he did, because they're very similar. And I think we as Sox fans love them for those things, right? As much shit as I'm giving Ozzie about, he wants to be the manager, I love Ozzie Guillen, right? We've talked about this before. He's my favorite player growing up. I've always enjoyed how outspoken he is, how off the cuff he's willing to go, and the things that he's willing to say. And what's funny to me is that when Ozzie was a manager, he would say some crazy shit, and you knew that he was doing it to try and keep the attention off of his team playing poorly, or keeping the mic out of Paul Konerko's face when he knew he didn't want it there. And what's amazing is that even as a announcer now after the game, him and Tim Anderson have done something here to make us not pay attention to how shitty the team has been playing, and we're talking about this instead.
Do you guys feel that Tony Russo does the same thing? Do you think that he shoulders some blame for the team and takes it off of the team?
I think he's senile. So he might be doing it, but he doesn't.
And I also wonder, that's one question, because I hear that a lot. I hear that Tony takes responsibility for a lot of things.
I'm 100% sure he'll give some commentary where he's shielding some information that he doesn't want a player to get bodied for or to get blamed for. Yeah, he'll say some dumb. Like I feel like managers often do that. They say something that you think is, oh, this is dumb, but they're clearly protecting someone. They don't want someone to think bad things about a player.
It's kind of hard because you don't know exactly what's going on, right? Like, so you don't pay attention to another squad, and you don't pay attention to their manager to know like how they do it, right? And my only two people that I've seen do this is like, I thought Ozzie did a masterful job at doing that. He was almost like he was like the Picasso out there in press conferences, like just deflecting things left and right from his team so they didn't have to talk to anybody. But no, I'm all good. I'm good with Ozzie saying whatever the fuck he wants. I just don't necessarily need his kids like saying stuff and then telling us that we're a bunch of pussies too. I don't really care much. That's the one part I kind of like.
I saw a deleted tweet. I'm not gonna snitch tag who it was, but said that we should take up a collection to pay the Guillen kids not to give their opinions on the internet. And so not gonna snitch tag who that was, but that was pretty funny. It has been since deleted.
All right, let's get on to the next topic here, which is it time to shake things up on the coaching staff or the roster? And we're just going to go around and we're going to have an idea from each of us on what we can do to shake things up. What can we do to get this team going? My Sox Summer, I'll go to you first. What are you doing to shake this team up?
So Josh Nelson hosted the Spaces last night, and it was straight fire. Like, there was a shitload of people in there, and people were angry, and people had some ideas. And he basically broke it down and said, listen, you can't fire Ethan Katz because Ethan Katz is, like, literally, we can see, and there's results, is doing his goddamn job out there. The starting pitching has been stellar, so you can't say, or at least better than expected would be at this point, missing like who we're missing. So you can't fire Katz. Tony Russa, according to a lot of people, shouldn't even have been hired, given his condition, his age, his condition, and then the fact that he was like facing the DUI. He shouldn't have been there anyway. So there's probably no way he's getting fired at this point, just because the team's not performing, because it's obviously not him, it's the players. So now your offense is the only thing that you have to look at, and who's going to be the scapegoat that falls on it, and that's Frank Menechino. So if you're going to fire somebody, he's probably the guy that's going to get canned. I don't necessarily think that Frank Menechino has a ton of influence on
yes.
this.
MSS, this is where
hard.
This is where it was like,
no.
I thought about Menechino too, right? It makes sense. This is a guy you can say, hey, the team's not hitting. You're the hitting coach. You're fired. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, what does that do? Like you actually, we talked about this the other day, MSS. You're like, has there ever been a scenario where like they fire the hitting coach and the team just gets on fire all of a sudden?
Better.
No, like you can't think of one where it's like, yeah, they finally got rid of that pesky hitting coach, and then they were all hitting home runs. Willie Davis got out of there, and everyone went nuts on the Cubs.
I'd even go as far to say as you got rid of Todd Steverson, and guys got worse. So I mean,
Yohan Moncada has not been the same since they got rid of Steverson, right? I mean, that was his last year.
And let's just be frank here. I don't think Todd Severson was like reinventing the wheel out there. Okay, like right. He didn't have the magic sauce. Okay, to get fucking Tim Anderson to become who Tim Anderson is. Even though Tim Anderson does give him some credit.
Yeah, for sure.
With Abreu, like they said, but this is the deal. I feel like, and I've heard this, and we talked about it with Josh on the live show too. There's guys that have 4 or 5 hitting coaches. You get guys in there that can actually work with these guys. You shouldn't have a Frank Menechino out there, one guy trying to do 8 different guys. Because at some point, it's like me yelling kids' names in the T-ball dugout. It's like, Austin, get the fuck up, Austin. Austin, go. And then he's like, I'm not Austin. I'm Chase. You don't remember me? It's like, and they're like, Coach Jay, what the hell? Or whatever. So, no, it's just, like, you got to be able to tap into these guys. And I don't know if he has. The only thing, and I talked about this with their guy at Mazda today, he's been fired by the Marlins, okay? The Marlins. You need to let that sink in. The Florida Marlins are horrible, and they fired somebody because they didn't think he did a good enough job. So is Frank Menechino going to be our sacrificial virgin thrown into the volcano, and then all the bats will wake up and whatever?
Maybe.
Potentially. But I don't think that you're going to get rid of them and then somebody's going to come in.
Wait. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. We got to talk about something. Beef, are you at all surprised that the term that My Sox Summer used was not sacrificial lamb, but sacrificial virgin?
Virgin.
Not shocked at all here. Not shocked at all, but I had to bring it up.
Isn't it Joe versus the Volcano? They said virgin like 100 times.
I was about to say it's from Joe versus the Volcano, isn't it? I knew this is where you pulled it from. I agree with you guys about the analytics of, this is probably not going to mean anything. But what it does mean, I guess, is like if you're a player, it may make you like focus a little more, because you'll realize, a guy who's not making as much money as I am, he's now out on his ass. He has no job. And the reason why he has no job is because we screwed up. We're the ones who screwed up. And so there is a kind of a little bit of that. I don't know how much of a difference that makes in total, but if there's a guy or two in the locker room that's not totally focused, and that's why they're not playing as well, I'm not saying that is the case. I'm just saying if that might be enough to like tighten the screws on the player. It's like, okay, you know what? This costs someone their job. Like this is different than like winning and losing. And athletes are, we want to win, all that stuff. But at some level, they're just doing their job like the rest of us do. But seeing someone else lose their livelihood, like that could make it more serious for somebody. And I think that's really the only angle you have here on like a firing a hitting coach. Because you're right, MSS, like there's not magic. It's not fucking magic. These guys are like, exactly. It's not Menachino magic, exactly. These guys are like glorified video coordinators, man. What are they doing? They're like loading up iPads or something, or putting a ball on the tee or something, or throwing some soft toss. I mean, what are these guys really doing? They're not going to make Jose Abreu hit better. Jose Abreu is a legend. Like he has to either figure it out or he's not gonna. Like that's the deal here.
So I was listening to something last night, and I was listening to the Sox game, and which I will typically sometimes do, especially when my kids are trying to go to bed. I don't want to put the game on because then Little Miss Shortstop's going to come down and be like, "Oh, I really like watching Sox games with you," and it's like bullshit. You just want to stay up. So I have it in my ear, and I'm listening to DJ and Len like talk, and DJ goes, one thing that a hitting coach can sometimes inhibit is that you would have the guy try to become more patient, and it will fuck up his whole thing. So now then my mind just like starts blowing up. I'm looking like fucking Alan from fucking Hangover gif, and I'm like, oh my God, are these guys actually trying to do what Frank is saying to do and be more patient? And then it's fucking them all up. And then I'm like, no. Absolutely not.
No,
especially when I saw Dylan Cease, or not Dylan Cease. Oh my God.
Who's being patient?
They
swing at balls out of the zone more than any team in the league.
Right.
There's no patience here.
Mm-mm.
They were patient today. They're patient
today
against a guy that was throwing like Nuke LaLoosh. Like the ball was 50 feet out of the zone. Like, they're not going to swing at that.
That could have been a slump buster pitcher though. Like you're like,
maybe that's what they needed.
Yeah, and the White Sox did bust a slump by having one extra base hit in the entire game.
Beef, how are you shaking up the roster or the coaching staff?
If it were me, I think it's kind of an obvious choice, and you make the decision to cut a player that's really not helping you very much in totality at this point. Someone that is a big swinging dick, and someone that potentially might not be the best clubhouse guy. I would get rid of Dallas Keuchel, and I think it sends a message from a couple different directions. One, it's like, hey, we're getting this guy out of the clubhouse that seemingly doesn't match with everyone else. Every time he gives a press conference after his start, he seems to be throwing the defense under the bus or kind of blaming everybody else. I couldn't think that plays well in the clubhouse. Maybe it does, but it just doesn't seem like it from my 10,000-foot view. And the other thing is it's a highly paid player. It's someone who, has been a big swinging dick, won a Cy Young award, and it's like, look, you're not producing, you're out. We don't need you anymore. And I think that would do a better job than the sacrificial lamb Frank Menachino firing would do. And it may also even improve the team. You have Davis Martin, the dart looked tremendous the other night. Johnny Cueto is back, and he looked really good the other night. And we're not that far from Lance Lynn. So, I don't think we kind of need Dallas Keuchel anymore. If you wanted to make that move, I could totally see it.
That would be interesting to see them do it. There's a decision in 10 days, right, of what that pitching staff's going to look like when we have to even out the roster. So will be interesting to see what they do. If Johnny Cueto continues to pitch well, I mean, that makes that decision a lot easier. So that could be where we go.
Teresi, before you give your thing, Roxy's just said that. Can you put her thing up?
Put that comment up. Go ahead.
Keuchel's the guy who does no research but puts the group's PowerPoint together so he claims all the credit. No. Keuchel's the guy that cheated his way into college and then is like, no, I made it here on my own. Don't worry about it. Like, check this ring out. I got here the way I got here. Don't worry about it. So, Chorizo, what do you think the team should do to improve its stance?
So I got an idea, guys. Well, first, most of my ideas that I have involve demoting Gavin Sheets, but
he's been brutal this last week.
Here's our big problem. If you want to get the hitting going, you look at the 40-man. There's not much there to bring up except one man. One man who I love and who I want back in my life. Bring Yerman Mercedes back up.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah. That's what I want.
Let's do it again. Let's do it again, baby.
Because you know what? Tell me who he shouldn't take at-bats from. Other than Tim Anderson and Luis Robert, he could have all the at-bats. And you know what? Everybody else on that roster, with the exception of Yoan Moncada, is literally a first baseman at this point. TA7, Luis Robert, Yoan Moncada are actual fielders. Everyone else in the starting lineup is a first baseman.
Okay, so if you do bring him up, he will take away bats from Andrew Vaughn, which he should not.
No. He should take all the at-bats away from Gavin Sheets. Give me all of Gavin Sheets' at-bats and give them to Yerman. I don't care what handedness is going on here. Gavin Sheets didn't hit anybody.
No,
he's hitting nothing. I mean, the other thing they can do, you bring up Yerman, they could actually make Yasmani Grandal catch more games. Like, at this point, they're letting Reese catch so much and DHing Grandal so much. They've got to reverse that trend. Like, I'm all for resting Grandal, but, like, Reese is catching as much as Grandal is. That doesn't make sense as far as, like, putting your best lineup out there. Put Grandal back behind the plate. I could see this, Treasy. I'm not sure if I'm in favor of it, but I could see it.
I would be more in favor if Yerman could actually be a position player at some position, but he cannot.
He play first. He could catch.
No, he can't.
Well, who else is
left field?
Who's doing great at any of these positions? You're acting like we got guys at these positions.
Listen, Chorizo, we have said this several times. I've said it several times, and I'm sure you guys have agreed with it. The Sox will push anybody into any position if they can get a decent bat out of the deal. If he could do something, they would make him do it, and he can't. He can't do it. It was horrible.
I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't agree with you.
I do know, and he was horrible.
He's claiming horrible here, and then he watched Gavin Sheets play left field in Fenway, and then Gavin Sheets in right field also. Like,
oh, it's horrible.
You're telling me Yerman couldn't? You're telling me Yerman couldn't do that? Come on.
I think it'd be worse.
So Shane brought up a couple things here. So Yulbert over Harrison, Carlos Perez over McGuire, and these are some of the things I was looking at. But like, even if you wanted to do those things, you have to cut those other guys because these Yulbert and Carlos Perez are not on the 40-man roster. You'd have to make room for them somehow. So either someone else is getting DFA'd or the guys that you're replacing are gonna have to get DFA'd. And so that's the thing. Like, so, but if you look at who's on the 40, it's like Jake Berger and Yerman Mercedes, and I can't have confidence in anyone else on this on there to give me a major league at bat. That's below the majors right now.
And to Shane's point there, that's why I'm like, I don't know if I can trust these guys, right? Like, because the Sox would shove somebody in there if they had to. Because they do it all the time. They do it on the pitching side.
So MSS, you're saying that empirically speaking, like if they really thought he can give a good at bat, he'd be out there in left field, like looking terrible. I hear you. It's a good call.
My God, how many times have we heard Micker Adolfo's name? Like, he's going to be great. He's going to be great. He's going to be good. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's for the last 9 fucking years, it feels like.
Fine.
Micker Adolfo is going to
Fine, my Sox summer.
Whatever.
Not Yerman.
But what I'm saying,
Micker's still striking out like 50% of the time in Charlotte.
To Chirizi's point, here, and I'm going to give you this, Chirizi, Yerman looked better than Adolfo. And Adolfo is a high-rated prospect. Like, I mean, my God. Right. That's what I'm saying. It's just like they will squeeze out
so let me try and
life of anything they can, and they haven't been able to do it with these guys because they're not that good.
Let me try and sell a different way of getting Sheets out of the lineup every day.
Okay.
Love it.
And this guy's not doing great himself, but he's doing better than I thought he would. No, not Blake Rutherford.
No.
Play Adam Engel every day. Have a good outfield. If we're not gonna hit, have a really good outfield. Keep Pollock in left. Put Adam Engel in right field. Luis in center. DH Andrew Vaughn. Take those, like, if you're gonna put Engel in right field, and you're gonna take the at bats, he's gonna take at bats from Sheets, and then we're gonna DH Vaughn. I got no problem with that scenario. It's very right-handed.
Yeah.
But again, it's not like our left-handers are knocking the crap out of right-handed pitching. So it's not very much different.
I don't mind it, but then I mean, like Adam Engel's 286 on base percentage. What does that do for you exactly? Like he runs a little bit, I guess, but I mean, like it's not necessarily an improvement. I guess we'll play defense. We'll become the run prevention White Sox here. And just
you have to at some
catch
point.
The ball, right?
You have to at some point because you don't hit. Right?
Yeah, they don't hit.
Someone's got to start hitting for us to say, like, oh, it doesn't matter that these guys are in the field.
Yeah, right. See, this is like when we did the stream with Josh, one of the things that I really liked is that we could react to the people's comments. Like, I could like it or whatever, because I was loving what Shane just said there. I'm like, obviously, as our number one fan in fucking New Zealand, like, it is like, he gets us. He gets the 108. He gets the mantra. He understands the joke. I love it. Thank you.
Teresi, what about this one from Comic Punk Guy? Is there still time to pick up Bobby Bonilla's contract?
I like it. I mean, we had a chance to pick up Robinson Cano. We missed on that.
They punted on that. I was surprised.
I honestly thought that they were going to go after him.
Hey, quick sidebar before we get too crazy. I've been listening to a lot of old Stern shows like on stream, and one of them they were talking about Bobby Bonilla's contract, and they're like, "Man, this guy is going to get paid for a long time," like this, and like it's just weird. They're like, "Look at this guy; he gets all this money. He thinks we know what we should do or whatever." And I'm like, God, if they only knew, he'd still be getting paid like 22, 25 years later.
Yeah.
It's just like insanity.
The annuity's almost up, but not quite. He's still going to get paid for a little bit now.
Do you guys have any other ones to shake up?
No, I felt bad because I saw a bunch of people out there saying like, DFA Josh Harrison, and I just feel like DFAing Josh Harrison's like shooting old Yeller. I mean, like I just like the guy's at the end of his career. He's trying his best. He still is a glove on defense. He can't hit anymore.
Who are you bringing in?
Like, he can't, exactly. Well, I mean,
Mendick?
Well, I mean, yeah, exactly. You'd bring up Danny Mendick, I guess, but it's not. It doesn't move the needle, right? I mean,
no.
Yeah.
I'll take a chance that Josh Harrison does something over Danny Mendick doing nothing that I know he's going to not do. Or he's not going to do. Fuck.
Beef, I think the one that we would talk about is firing Tony La Russa, but I think honestly that is a bullet that Han is going to save for much later. So if this team's going down, he's going to go, I'm firing this guy and going, his fault, not my fault.
Not this crappy
Teflon Han does it again.
That's right. Nothing gonna stick to him. You're right.
All right, now to My Sock Summer's favorite part of the show, the YouTube ad read.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching us on a live stream right now and haven't subscribed, make sure you tickle the undercarriage of that subscribe button and get on board. If you have already subscribed and are watching the show, talking smack about MSS's internet and generally meat gazing at Teresi E and I, please smash that like button in the face. If you are listening on the podcast feed and have never enjoyed the eroticism that is the YouTube version of this show, come to youtube.com/FromThe108 and hit that subscribe button. Our previous goal was 1,000 subscribers. We're currently at 1,100 plus. That's going to allow us to make minimum wage for about 1 hour per month if we do a full podcast schedule. You just can't beat that. So get your friends, your family, your dog, everyone to subscribe and allow the 108 to fulfill the dream of becoming YouTube thousandaires. I love you.
All right, fellas. I'm very excited. Oh,
hold on before we get to the horny meeting.
Way to blow my.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we already talked about it.
All right, go ahead. Whatever you need to say about Buffalo Trace. I don't know. Are we sponsored by them now?
I need Costco to start stocking some Buffalo Trace. All right. I need a big ass Buffalo Trace bottle. Let's make it happen.
Great. Can I speak now?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I messed that all up. I stepped on your toes. I got better about it.
I'm a little less excited now, but I'm still very excited to bring back the horny meter. This is one of my favorite segments that we do. And if you haven't seen it before, we basically describe how randy we would get for a certain situation that's going to come up. And we all do it in different ways. So we'll get into it in a second here. And we're going to start with Luis Robert's power, because Luis Robert has been the one guy knocking the crap out of the ball for the White Sox. No one else seems to want to hit. Tim Anderson a bit, but Luis Robert's really the guy that's been fantastic. So I'm going to go around. We're going to tell me just how horny are you for Luis Robert's power. Beef, I'll start with you since My Sock Summer disappeared.
I'm back, bitch.
Fellas, for me, Luis Robert's power, I'm like Mike Damone in the pool house with Stacey Hamilton and Fast Times at Ridgemont High. That's how much I'm excited for it, man. I cannot wait to see him at the plate. And you mentioned it on the onset, Treasy. He's the only guy I trust to yank a home run out of the ballpark right now. And for a team that is very home run centric and the way they score, like I said today, they had 14 hits, 13 singles, 1 extra base hit, Luis Roberts home run, and that was the dagger in the hearts of the Royals. We need this man, and we need others to start doing it.
Roxy put in the comments, can we start with the moment Sox math was 69? I saw that the other day, and all I could think was the dude who won this did not guess this. He just puts that every day, I assume.
Every time.
Well, I thought there was wasn't there a movement in White Sox Twitter that everyone got a number and wasn't somebody had to have had 69 and they just dropped the ball on that one and didn't get it or what?
Probably
someone did tweet and claim that they always put 69 and then they forgot today.
Yeah, that sounds like
not today, but the day that they had 69.
That's Through-hand Luke betting on Larry Garcia.
Larry Garcia bet. Oh, yeah. I magically never do it when he actually does it. Way to go,
my next summer. How horny are you for Luis Roberts' power?
Luis Robert. Okay, so my horniness meter this year or this time is what type of angle best describes my horniness for the name player or situation. For Luis Robert, it's an acute angle. It's getting there. It's right at 45 degrees. It's not all the way up. It's not down. It's right in the middle. Getting there.
Wow.
Getting there.
He's not feeling Luis Roberts' power. It's a semi.
No,
it's semi.
It's not a semi. It's getting there. It's just not. It's not a full-on major rager, bro. It's just like it's getting.
That's
there.
a semi, man. A semi's got a little height to it, but it's not all the way up. You know,
he is
unbelievable.
I know he had some theatrics today, so I didn't get to see those.
Leads the team in home runs right now.
Had things I had to do. But he still strikes out way too much for my taste, but that's okay.
Carmen Mike Sox says 5 Comcast controllers.
That's good. See, he gets the bit. Chorizo, how's it hanging with you, bro?
So in general with Luis Robert, I guess however Pete Davidson must feel most days of his life. I just can't believe a guy like me gets to spend so much time enjoying Luis Robert. Like, I certainly don't deserve it. I don't have the looks for it, but somehow it's happening for me. That's how I feel. Pete Davidson, horny.
I love it. Just always out there, just the big D energy, right? Isn't he the guy has the big dick energy? That's right.
I mean, if he doesn't, I don't know what's happening.
He has butthole eyes, man.
He does have butthole eyes.
I feel like Pete Davidson has that don't give a fuck attitude. Like, he lost his dad in 9/11, and I think he just doesn't care. So he's just like, you know what? I'm going to swing for the fences and see what happens. And it's worked out really well.
I think MSS. I think you want to believe that that's the reality, but I agree with Treasy. He's got a kill box.
There's plenty of guys that go into the bar that
don't give a shit and they get nothing.
Give a shit and swing for the fences and they strike out incredibly.
I don't know, man.
He's like, no. MSS believes that if you don't care, he's like in swingers. We don't need the shit, and they give us the shit for free. That's his life motto right there.
You know that didn't work in swingers, right?
That did work.
It did not work.
Well, it would have worked.
It would have worked. Okay. All right. Good point. Good point. It probably would have worked. Okay.
I can't wait.
Bernie Madoff was making good investments, guys. Until it would have worked out eventually. TLR's managerial decisions is next on the horniness meter. Where MSS? Where are you on TLR's managerial decisions?
All right, so I'm going to have to explain this one. It's a reflex angle, which is the part of the angle is this, and the other part is this. It is going straight down. It's like at about a 45-degree angle going down. So no.
So this is like you're being attacked. Fun. This is like you're in a fight.
Yeah.
Like you're
one
actually
step away from turtle.
You're getting punched in the face, and that's the level you're at.
It's right like now. Almost inversion, but not quite inverted.
Yeah.
not great.
No. Beef, you're tucking.
Beef, how are you doing on this one?
Fellas, you know that I love gilfs, but I think in this situation, we got catfished. I'm sorry. This is totally not what we were expecting. I've been trying to think of what's going on here with Tony. I think I figured it out. Tony is like a random manager decision generator at this point. Because sometimes I'm like, oh shit, that was a really nice choice by Tony there. And other times I'm like, I have no idea what he just did or why he did it. And I can't even backfit a fucking narrative to it. I think there's just random decisions going on here. We got catfished. This is not what we were expecting, so we're out of here. We got to get out. we went on a date when we were out of town, and we had to leave early, even though we had Frank Costanza's cabana wear on. That's kind of where I'm at with this. We had to get the hell out.
It's funny that you bring up Frank Costanza, because what my thought on this one is it's the George Costanza trying to get his girlfriend to break up with him. Like he's doing everything in order for us to dump him. But we're far too committed to this relationship that we just can't do it. So
we're in.
He can tell us that he's in porno films, and we're just gonna go, that's really cool. Like that's where we're at right now. We are Costanza's girlfriend that will not give up on the relationship, so much so that he cheats on her with another woman, and it's still not enough.
Oh, that's nice. Remember that thing we were talking about? George is into it.
Yes. Different one, but yes, still the same idea. Still the same idea. All right. Next up.
I drink a lot, Teresa.
Next up. No, it was a great call.
Good pull.
I'll let you go first on this one too. Yasmani Grandal.
Oh, 100% straight angle, flat as fuck. It's not turning me really off, but it's definitely not getting me going. So I'm just, I'm kind of meh. Like if there was a meh angle, it would be a meh angle, but there's not. So I have to use a straight angle.
I wish I was really good at video editing, because I would like to get My Sock Summer given the
doing
whole
all these things.
just the progression.
You could probably splice it, and he'd end up walking like an Egyptian, right? Like the Bengals
time lapse where he's just like this.
That's right.
Beef.
How come we should bring voguing back, Loaf?
Oh, you mean like this? All this stuff? Oh yeah, no, that's a good idea. I'm down with that. We'll definitely do that on it. We'll open the next video. You and I will be doing that.
Can somebody please come show us how to vogue?
Please
I'm a little upset on this one that Dreezy already blew up my spot with a Costanza, because I'm going Costanza here on Yasmani Grandal. So I'm like Costanza and Seinfeld when he starts getting intimate, and then he has to get the wrapper off the condom, and it's taking too long, and then it's gone. Like he's complete. He can't anymore. He's finished because it took too long. And that was me, because he has hit that laser beam home run in KC, and I'm like, this is it. It's happening now. And then he's sucked since then. So it's like it went back down. I couldn't get the wrapper off the condom fast enough. I'm flaccid again.
I almost said I feel that, but I feel that shouldn't be a term in any of this segment.
No, that's probably not for here.
Keep that out of here.
Don't want to do that.
For myself, I feel like how Leonardo DiCaprio must feel when he looks at a 33-year-old, that they look like they're 137 years old to him.
Oh.
That's a good age joke.
He's just like,
good night, everyone.
All right.
It's like, it's a dinosaur.
Remember to tip your server.
At this point, because it's an old catcher, right?
Yeah.
But he's only 33, but that's an old catcher. All right. Next up, the super bullpen. Beef, you go first on the super bullpen, because I know it's your favorite.
I would love to. You know, the super bullpen is like, you really aren't sure you trust the person. And sometimes the relationship blows up spectacularly in fights or drunken vomit. But other times it's the best you've ever had. And that's why you keep getting drawn back in, and you end up retrusting them when you shouldn't retrust them. And that's how I was even today watching the game. They kind of get through all the muck and the bad Vince start, and then Joe Kelly's out there doing stuff, and he gets out of it. And then Liam, I'm like, oh, man, Liam, don't let me down. And, of course, Liam puts two people on base, but he ends up getting out of it. It's like, oh, thank goodness. And that's how I always feel with the super bullpen, especially the 2022 version of the super bullpen. They're not good when I expect them to be good. And when I expect them to be bad, like all these scrubs in there, no, they mow everybody down. So I don't know what to expect, but it's exciting, and I hope that they succeed.
I just wish I could go back and rename this podcast Drunken Vomit. It just seems like seems great for this one. My Sock Summer, how are you feeling about the super bullpen?
So this is where my grand plan of angles kind of hit a little speed bump, because I'm like, what is the maximum angle? Like I didn't know. So I had to make a call, and this is the call I have made. Obtuse angle, okay. It is like more like this, right?
Okay.
Okay, it's not a super boner. Okay.
Okay. No.
It's going back up inside the person. It's like an innie.
Inverted? It's like innie. Yeah.
Inverted
Okay.
boner. It's like not fucking my own belly button. It's actually gone back up inside me in this way. That's the super bullpen. Like it is just it's not making me horny at all. I'm really bummed out by the bullpen. And again, another thing that we were told that you don't got to worry about this. Look at this. This is great.
They got it locked down. They spent all that money there. We're good.
There are 3 things now that fall into that group. There was we're going to win our division. Don't worry about it. There was, don't worry about the offense. We have bats like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about the bullpen. We've signed 77 relievers. All 3 of those things have been total fucking trash so far, and it can't anger me more. It angers me so much. But anyway, the whole deal is, yes, obtuse angle.
So, Sal, you're right. I did see Drunken Vomit in DeKalb on a Tuesday night, and Super Boner opened for them.
Hey, that was probably at Otto's.
It was at Otto's. It was at Otto's. Gunner's daughter played at that show.
Did you play Otto's?
I did play. I've played Otto's, yeah.
I played Otto's too. Have we talked about this?
I talked about it with you when I did it. So that was years ago.
Oh, so just like since we've known each other.
Yeah. Oh. This was in the 2014, 15 range, something like that.
Why did we not go to that? I don't understand. I'm so bummed out.
We weren't that close then, I don't think.
Okay.
Not close enough for you to show up at a show an hour out.
You're not even gonna make the show on Clark Street. You're gonna drive all the way to fucking DeKalb for a show or what? Take it easy there.
So my thoughts on the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
this is like when one of your buddies like hypes up this girl that you got to meet, and you meet him, and you're kind of on the fence. You don't really care that much, but you're like, this is probably not going to be that good. But you also have reason to trust your buddy, right? Like it's a good friend, right? Like so, you're willing to meet them again, even though you got a thing with Tootie that night.
Love it. Great pull.
So
absolutely true.
Last up on the horny meter is the weekend 108 crowds. Now, MSS, I mean, where are you going here?
This is super. This is the major rager. This is the top. This is the top banana. This is the number one. Right angle, baby. Straight fucking up, man. I mean, we had a crowd last Friday that would have it would have blown up the internet if people knew that they were there. And so much so, I wanted to continue, so I didn't even tweet the picture of all the people that were there because I'm like, I don't want people knowing that this is what happens, and then these people get kind of weirded out and don't want to come back to the section. So I'm like, just let everybody have a good time. I want Section 108. Section 108 on Friday night was like fucking Studio 54 in its heyday. Like, there was
it was.
I mean, a lot less cocaine, but there was still cocaine, but a lot less cocaine than normal at Studio 54. But so the weekend crowd, Friday night is the party night. Saturday night is just like the long-term relationship. We're fucking partying people. And then Sunday's like, holy fuck, we're hungover, fucking friends. And it is great. And you know what's funny though, is you get a guy from all of the, you have at least one person that Sunday is their Friday, so they're still pushing you, right? So
that's true.
It doesn't matter. It didn't matter that I drank 87 Vizzies in the hot tub before we went to the park. Like, this guy had to make sure I had a pineapple orange Vizzy, in his presence on Sunday. So it was great, man. I love the weekend wonder crowds right now. I am so horny for that. So much so it is a right angle, bro.
I love it. Before I give mine, our guy Doughboy is up in the comments. He said Saturday's class pick was lit. Yeah, there was so many cookies in the Saturday picture, and I have a feeling that the class pick is now going to continue to have more and more cookies. People doing random weird shit in the background that shows up in the picture. So
that was
congrats to you and my daughter. I should kick my daughter's ass for what she did in that
was
picture.
Awesome.
But I loved it, so I could never.
That's pretty great. That's pretty great.
The future of the 108 is in great hands. Chorizo, how do you feel about the weekend?
Well, did Beef go?
I didn't go yet, no.
Oh, I thought he did. I'm sorry.
So for the weekend 108 crowds, this is the one where you've been prepping for it all week. You even got manscaping going, and you made sure you got your favorite shirt together that you're going to wear so you can go out. I mean, the weekend crowds have just been awesome. And even if the team is not doing well, even if the team's having a bad game, we're having so much fun out there. You know, like you mentioned Friday night, My Sock Summer. Teresi and I, most of the game, we had either Gas Money Bob in the middle of us or Billy Wires in the middle of us. That's pure entertainment for 9 innings, even if there was no baseball game going on. Like, you just sit there and talk, and you get it. And the section was filled on Saturday again, and we had a great time talking to everybody, seeing people. And the thing is, like, even the spillover of 108, people coming up on the craft cave on the stairs on the other side, like, hey, coming across the aisle and hugging and kissing and hanging out with everyone and talking to everybody. Like, it's just a great place to meet up. So, man, the weekend crowds have been terrific so far.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I just, the thing I thought when I thought about this question is that somehow the 108 weekend crowds are both one night stand material and marriage material. I don't know how, but they are.
We got both kinds.
That's what it is. That's what it is to me. But Beef, we got to talk about one thing, because like we have not mentioned this on the show, and it was only in the 108 type of moment that happened. So Brooks Boyer, the senior VP of sales and whatever in marketing at the Sox, was down in the section, came by to say hello to everybody. And he's great about it. He'll talk to everybody about things. And, you know, he knows that you guys are the ones that wrote all those really mean things in the surveys. He's read them. He knows who you are. But he's really great about that kind of stuff. And we were talking about different, you know, like people are shouting out different promotions to him. And out of nowhere, we heard Sarah J. Sundays. This was a promotion requested from someone in the 108, like sitting in the 108, to the senior VP of marketing of the White Sox. Tell me another section you get that in. Tell me another section where that happens. That was Uncle Grumpy, you could be in the owner's box and you ain't getting that. All right,
Uncle Grumpy.
Yeah, that was Uncle Grumpy.
You blew up his spot. You blew up his spot right there.
But the funny thing is that when he showed up, Uncle Grumpy goes, "Brooks Boyer, somebody I've always wanted to talk to." And Brooks goes, "Uh-oh." Like, he is like, "It's coming. Here it comes." Like, that was awesome. Like, I appreciate Brooks coming down there and still saying what's up.
So
what do you think? How you feeling
that moment? I already did mine, but
that's it. Okay.
Yeah, I did this already.
So, you know, it's come to that point of the night, guys. It's time to say goodbye, but to first say some thank yous to people. MSS. I know this isn't really your graphic, but this is one of my favorites that you've done this week. This is this is my favorite. But I like this one quite a bit too. I love these shopping bags. But so, MSS, who are you thinking this week?
I'm going to give a shout out to Svo and Yumper. They sent me over a really nice bottle of bourbon for doing absolutely nothing. They seem to think that us giving away a bobblehead for them is somehow they owe me something.
So let me get this straight. My blood, sweat, and tears on their podcast for 2 hours.
I mean, listen,
and you get bourbon. Okay, I'm just checking. Yeah. I'm just checking how it all works. Okay, I got it.
They know who's in charge over here. So no, I want to give them a shout out, and I hope you guys all entered into the contest to win. We'll pull a winner here hopefully sometime soon. And we'll get that out. But like, those guys are great. Go over their podcast. As Lo said, he's already been on their podcast. He talked some mob movies with another White Sox Twitter 108 fave, Sam Mendelson. So go check that out. They also had Richard Roper on, which is like
that episode is the Richard Roper episode far better than the Beeflope episode. But listen to them both because they do a great job with movies and they got encyclopedic knowledge on these movies. So it's a very good show.
And I don't hope I'm not breaking rules by saying I'm probably going to be on there soon. We're going to talk some Boogie Nights. So yeah. I mean, if like you got to get the horniest movies for the horniest guy in the 108, which I mean, outwardly facing horniest guy, like right angle guy. You know, so.
MSS.
Yeah.
One thing I got to throw out at you, I just picked the winner.
Okay.
And I don't ever know who these people are because I don't know people's real names.
Okay.
Right? Like you never know. So the winner's name is Brett Ruby. You know that guy? I don't know, but
I don't know that guy.
He won. He's the winner.
All right,
he's
Brett.
the bobblehead. So we'll be sending him out some info very shortly.
Best part about this, I'm paying the shipping, so don't even worry about it. Like you don't even got to pay shipping. That's how great it is.
Impressive.
Chorizo or loaf.
What are you thinking?
Got some things.
And before I get to my thank you, just to reiterate, Treasy brought up the 108ing takeover Minneapolis. Go to the Sox Machine website. There's a blog post up there. There's a blog post on the 108 website as well where you can buy tickets to the bar that we're going to on July 16th at 10:30 a.m. before the 1 o'clock start against the Twins that day. We're going to be going to North Loop Galley at 729 North Washington Avenue in Minneapolis. It's walking distance from the ballpark. $30. You get 3 drinks for that $30. So it's 150 people max. They already sold 60 tickets. So make sure you get on that. If you know you're traveling up to Minneapolis for that series, that July 15th, 16th series, make sure you get the tickets for July 16th. My 2 thank yous. Number 1 is going to go to U2s, which I'm sure you guys don't know what that is. But I bought a collectible for my daughter from U2s like 9 months ago. And that fucking thing finally arrived. It's a vinyl figure. It was one of these things where my daughter is like, can you be logged on at like 1:30 in the afternoon to buy this? And I happen to be working from home at the time. To buy this is going to sell out in minutes. And I kid you not, I get on this thing and I'm only able to buy a couple of them because they do sell out in minutes. They have a limited quantity or whatever. So this vinyl figure of some YouTube streamer that she really likes. So this thing finally showed up today. So I just want to thank them for the 9-month birth gestation period. And I'd also like to thank all the other pets in my house other than 108 Morton, who's a fucking biter.
Now, hey, you said you bought a couple of these. Do you need me to sell one on eBay for you or what?
I'll let you know. If my daughter wants to get rid of it. But no, not the same character. So I've got one of the characters.
Yeah.
Waiting on the others. But no, I think she's good with them for now. We'll see. When she outgrows it, maybe then yes. Treasy, thanks some people, baby.
Well, yeah, I want to thank Yumper and Zvo today for getting us to the point that we could break down the King Nam video. But I also want to thank King Nam for being a good sport and giving us that. And additionally, thank everyone in advance who's going to come out to the show on Saturday night, and for all you guys who are buying tickets for the Minnesota Takeover. That's it for me. And I, of course, thank you guys for coming in tonight and doing this. And we will talk to everybody very soon. Let me just find the video outro so I can remember where it's at. Here we go.